In this video, we're going to find the graph of a sine function given an equation. It says graph the following function, y equals 3 cosine x over 2 minus pi over 4 plus 2. Let's write out what the original, or the general equation would be for cosine. That'd be y equals a cosine of bx plus, not plus, minus c plus d. D is the vertical shift. Minus c would be the horizontal shift. This is your horizontal stretch or compression, and this is your vertical stretch and compression. We want to find the period first. To find the period, you take 2 pi divided by b. b is 1/2, so we're going to have 2 pi divided by 1 over 2, which is 4 pi. So the period for this function is 4 pi. We have a vertical shift, so I need to write that down, vertical shift of plus 2. Our phase shift we can find by setting x over 2 minus pi over 4 equal to 0 and solving. So that's x over 2 equal to pi over 4. When you multiply by 2, you end up with x equals 2 pi over 4, which is pi over 2. So we have our phase shift to the right of pi over 2. And then we have an amplitude, which is 3. So let's kind of add all this together. If I start with the normal graph of -1 to 1 for cosine, this would go from 0, and I can use the period right now. I'd be going from 0 to 4 pi. So this would be 2 pi, this would be pi, and this is 3 pi. So for the regular cosine graph, we'd start here at -1, go through 0 at pi, we'd hit the max at 2 pi, back to 0, back to -1. And the function would look like this. But we have this amplitude, which is going to make both 1 and -1 -3 and 3. But then we have this vertical shift. We're going to add 2 to each of these, so that actually changes it from 3 to 5. That changes this x value. Instead of it being x equals 0, it's actually changed to x equal 2 because you add 2 to it. And then this would be actually -1. So I'm going to write that out here. We end up with 5 and -1. And this is actually equal to x equal 2. Now, the phase shift actually moves the x values here. So we're phase shifting by x over 2. So basically we're going to start at sorry, I said x over 2. We're phase shifting by pi over 2. It's right here, pi over 2. We're going to start at pi over 2. And then we're going to shift each point over a certain amount, which we're shifting over pi over 2 for each piece. So if I start at pi over 2, this piece is going to get shifted over to, instead of it being pi, we add pi over 2, that'd be 3 pi over 2. Instead of 2 pi, we'd end up with 5 pi over 2. And then instead of 3 pi, we'd end up with, so 3 pi plus another pi over 2 would give you 8 pi over 2. Nope, that'd be 3 pi is 6 pi over 2. It'd be 7 pi over 2, not 8. 7 pi over 2. And then finally we add pi over 2 to 4 pi. This would be 8 pi over 2, so this is 9 pi over 2. So now we've taken care of the phase shift, so that means that the cosine function is starting at -1 and pi over 2, and it's going, oh, and I actually graphed the wrong graph. This is a +3, So this should actually not start at -1. The cosine function should be starting at the top here. So I graphed that backwards to begin with. So I'm going to cross that out. This should be 5. This should be 0. We should get our minimum here, back to 7 pi over 2, and then back to 5 here. So it looks like so.